Good evening. Good night, actually. Good morning. It's 1:05 a.m. Mhm. It is late. It is late, but I'm always up late, trying to get things done for myself, slash early. Like if I'm up late, sometimes I get up early, like 4 in the morning, depending on if I go to bed early. But I thought I would just hop on here real quick with you guys because I was watching the ladies, the Sanji's friend Nyla. And it was so interesting because she was talking about like the Nation of Islam and showing different videos and stuff like that from the men that are talking about like um, different women and getting different women at super young ages. And that was, it led me down a pathway. And somehow I found myself looking at pictures of the baby and his baby's mother and Danny Lay. And it really just struck me that like I see all these beautiful pictures of Danny Lay coming out and well staged pregnancy pictures and stuff like that, and it just made me uh, it just made me get to a point where I was like, this shit is so saddening. Like it is so very sad. Like women are grasping on for clout so badly. They're grasping on to have babies with men that don't even acknowledge them. It's like a serious epidemic in this country here. It's a serious issue. Baby motherism is a serious problem in this community. And it has everything to do with choices that women make. If I was a woman, a young woman who was interested in a celebrity and he had 4 and 5 children with two baby mothers, I would probably not want to have his child. And if I did want to have his child, I would want to be a step ahead and above everybody else, which means I would want to be married. Um, I think one of the craziest things that I see in this country, and I was born in this country. It's not like I'm a Jamaican from Jamaica or I'm a Nigerian from Nigeria. No, I was born here, and I come from the capital of baby mothers, also known as the Bronx. Without saying much, then you already know the demographic. Majority of the women that are having children out of wedlock, I know they would like you to believe that it's you, black women, but it's not. It's really not. It's what we consider Dravidians or mixed race people like mutts, no pure DNA. These random people. I guess we refer to them here as Hispanic people. They speak Spanish, the oppressor's language, so they believe that because they speak the oppressor's language, that they are uh, more elevated than us. When really, la lenguaje está fácil. It's not really hard to speak a language if you're an intelligent person. It's very easy, and I think that's the only thing that makes them feel like they're a step above us because they speak the oppressor's language. But we also speak an oppressor's language. It's called English. I really think it's really sad that in 2021 we see young women who have their lives ahead of them. I mean, if I were a young woman in this industry and I didn't have any talent, the last thing I would want is to become a baby's mother. What I would want is I would want to get better at my craft. Um, I would want to actually be good at what I do, as opposed to laying down and having babies from men that are 5 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to diss anybody, and this is really not even about these particular people. It's about a problem that happens in our community um, on a continual basis. It's like every single day there's a young woman who is ill equipped having children. Now, whether I agree or not doesn't matter. I don't have any kids because I haven't been married yet. Now, in my opinion, having children out of wedlock is silly and it's foolish. And I'm not saying it because everyone was married in my family. A lot of people were married, but a lot of people were not married in my family. So I've seen it on both sides. But I'm going to tell you what. My mother is a person who had a baby with a man who had a family. She didn't know that he even had a family when she had his baby. That's how men used to do it back in the day. They actually tried to hide their other family back in the day. Now it's a matter of accept me with all of my families. Like what? And whatever a woman chooses to do, that's their business. But for me, that choice is obvious. I will not rip up and stretch up my body for any man who is unwilling to legitimize me as a woman. There's so much going on in life. The last thing I want to be doing is waddling down the street while some man is with his other's baby's mother and children at a water park or something. I would feel so foolish. Or like, for example, I saw a video of him of this person um, getting on a flight with his kids as he should be, and all I kept thinking was like, meanwhile, this other random watered down version of us is over here um, with her family, who is so glad that she caught a nigga for the bag because they're all broke. You could look at them and tell that they don't have a dollar to their name. They're gonna live off of her 5 minute fame. And let me tell you something. I'm from the Bronx. I've seen a lot of mixed women, quote unquote, a lot of mixed race women. And this particular woman having this man's baby, she's not even pretty to me. I'm sorry, this is 2021 and we gotta speak honestly. A lot of you light skinned bitches are not pretty. She's not a pretty one. To me, I look at her face and what I see is I see a mouse. I see a girl with a skinny, mousy nose. I see a girl with a sharp ass chin line like a man, like the German men or something. So she must have some German in her. You know, she looks like she's probably mostly white with maybe a sprinkle of black, you know, the way they like it in this country. And what I do realize is like, I guess some people consider her attractive, but as I'm looking at her, she doesn't really have any body. She's a small person. And she's also a regular looking woman with no talents. But because she is pretty much the preference of America, like, let's not even trip, y'all. It's not just black men, it's America. America has a thing about watered down jeans. Okay? What I've noticed is it applies to both black and white people in this country. If you're super, super white, they don't fuck with that. If you're super, super black like me, they don't fuck with that either. What I'm trying to explain to you is that there is a serious an agenda, as they would like to say, but a serious agenda of muddying up the races in this country so that you could be lost in the world as this world starts to, everyone is going into their respective corners. I mean, this American experiment is over. I enjoyed it as well. I know when I was with my fiance, I thought I was going to have beautiful mixed Italian kids. But guess what? He's gone now. He passed away. So the next one I choose to be with will likely be a black man. But he had to be a certain type of black man. Do you hear this? I don't see any fireworks. Anyway, like I said, it is really a sad thing when you come down to it and you look at this country and every single person is just lost and confused about who the hell they are in their history because their genes have been so muddied up here. It's like, don't you see the baby is trying to have black children, you dumb fuck? Even if he did bust in you, what happened to the day where you decided that you were actually a woman who didn't want to get in the way of a righteous man and his family? Now, I'm not trying to say that this man is a righteous man, but we need to bring back the main chick ass whooping. There was a time where if a woman was pregnant by a man and he had a wife, that her girlfriends would go and beat that bitch's ass so she could be reminded that she don't got a leg in the race. And I'm not saying that the baby's mother should be that the main chick should be the one to go do it. But you see, where are your friends? Your friends need to catch a young girl and stomp her out. That's what I would do. That's what I would have my people do. I'm sorry, I know that sounds aggressive, but you know damn well don't nobody want you and your half watered down fucking baby. Don't nobody want it. Not even the man that gave you the seed. And it's so disgraceful. You untalented whore. That's what America is. A bunch of people who, the most talented people and the most sharp people are not on top here. When we talk about black excellence, those days are coming to an end. We really need to continue to consolidate our wealth and stick close to each other and move forward in this race here. You know, I'm getting tired of waking up every day and walking down the block and this neighborhood. I really, there weren't many interracial couples in this neighborhood. There were some, but now all I see is these black men with their Beckys walking down Tompkins Avenue. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad for their kids. Because you could bring your Becky to the black neighborhood all you want. You could put as many babies in her all you want. If I'm not here, your baby won't have no culture. Because like Claudia Jordan said, whatever the fuck her name is, that bitch. Like she said, she wishes she had a black mom. You can't teach a young woman how to be a black woman unless you're a black woman. It's not possible. And contrary to belief, I know that people like Ms. Yellowbone or whatever the fuck she wants to refer to herself. I don't even know. Her name is retarded too. She has like a stupid name. She has what I would call a Ringa name. Danny Lay is retarded. You know what the sad part about a woman like that is? She's so lost that she doesn't even understand what she's doing. You pretty much sealed your fate. You will be stuck here while all of us black and excellent people go and move on to Africa. You and your watered down jeans baby will be stuck here in America working while the rest of us go and live our fantastic black lives and repatriate our continent where we belong. I hope they leave all of these watered down bitches right here. I don't want to hear another thing about I'm Indian. I don't want to hear another thing about Cherokee and all this and all that bullshit and PG Gullah and all that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm African. I don't care. My daddy is Jamaican. And when I told him I went to Africa and got my DNA, he was jumping for joy because you're not saying we Jamaicans, we love Africans. You're not saying that. We don't play. We know we is black. You understand? You understand? We don't play games. So when I see little like this industry, this music industry is a disgrace how you bring these dirty bitches around these righteous black men. I mean, and it's like, okay, I'm not saying that he's not wrong for not being able to control himself because I'm not him and I don't speak for him. I'm not his baby's mother. But what I do say is that you think one of these bitches again, my son, baby, I might be the one to come run down, bitch. You wouldn't dare have my son's child. Oh well. And that's a sad thing. It's a really sad thing that this is all we see, like, as a matter of fact. let's go to, as a matter of fact, why don't we pull up some links so you could see what I'm talking about? Let's share the screen. Let's share the second screen. Okay, guys, so I ended up coming right here to a woman who pretty much looks like a child. Like, can I be honest with you? This woman, before she got pregnant, she looked like a baby. She looked like a kid. She looked like a little boy. You see, me and my girlfriends, we would walk by bitches like this in the street because you see these pictures, these cameras, they do a complete different, they give a complete different picture of what a woman really is. She's close up on the camera, all this. These women, they be 5 foot nothing with no body, with no swag, and can barely walk looking like little boys. I mean, look at her height compared to him. She's a mini, and to me, that's not a woman, that's a boy. You could put on as much makeup as you want. You could tan out as much as you want, put on as much weave as you want. Do what you want. Do what you want, but you're not more beautiful than a black woman. You wish you was. You what we call an octoroon. You're like an eighth black, and you hanging on and struggling for that black so badly. And get my fucking Fulani braids out your face. I am done with these types of women. Leave them here. We're going to Africa. Leave them. You want to be a baby's mother? Be a baby's mother. But why do we have to see your shit everywhere? I mean, every fucking page I follow has this woman's belly on here. We're celebrating baby's mothers, but we're not celebrating the baby's mothers in our community. We're celebrating outside white-skinned bitches coming in here, dropping babies that nobody asked for. And I'm just asking why. Why do we keep doing this? This is not about DaniLeigh or baby. This is about an overall theme in America of just baby motherism, just fucking baby mothers everywhere. Some of you bitches should be ashamed of yourselves. It's nasty. Like literally, your child was a germ inseminated into your womb by a man who doesn't give a damn about you. And it's a sad thing because I think it really is going to take women like us who make better choices in life, who are actually beautiful, who give a fuck about our community, which you're not a part of, to speak down on stuff like this. It's like it was kind of like that day that I never forget that day where they said Larsa Pippen or somebody was in Bronny's DMs, LeBron James' son's DMs. Oh my God, in the name of Savannah James. My point is, some of y'all, as Kanye said, dirty white bitches, you're fucking ridiculous. Look at you, you look stupid as fuck. While he's on a jet with his real black family and his mother, his aunt, his baby's mother, his children. I mean, do we ever get tired of watching embarrassments try to impersonate us? Because that's what you're doing. You blackfishing. You trying to impersonate a black woman. I don't give a damn which one of your families is a quarter black. You'll never be as black as me. You'll never be as black and beautiful as me. There's something called privilege, right? And it is crazy because Senji said it the best last year, but the reality is this. The privilege comes from the fact that I am 34 years old and I have a better face than you. The privilege comes from the fact that my skin is sunproof. The privilege comes from the fact that even at this age, I could probably push 6 babies straight through, but I won't dare rip my body up for anybody unless he puts a ring on it and it legitimizes my life. The privilege comes from knowing that black is excellent and anything that's not is watered down. Because it's not, it's like literally, it's a, like if I put baby mama in here, it's like literally returns, like it's just, the baby mama culture. It is just so much. I just, do we ever get tired of it? Do we ever get tired of saying that a woman is good enough to have a baby but not good enough to be legitimized? Do we ever get tired of you being used as some sort of like um, breeding mechanisms or some like cattle to breed with? It's like all of these women. Now it's one thing if you were married and shit didn't work out. And to be honest with you, she's the only one winning. As much as I'm not a fan, she's the only one winning because guess what? She got the ring. Now talk shit. Some of y'all bitches busting it open and having 3 and 4 babies for a man who won't even put a ring on you. I don't care. Like, look, I understand Offset might be a cheater and men do cheat, but at the end of the day, if he act up, she's taking a good chunk. And I really do. Really, I really want black queens to know that it's not our place to be babies' mothers. Like, let them do that. Let the preferences be babies' mothers. You know what I'm saying? Let them be the ones who let me try to stop this screen. Everything is going so. Sorry, internet was stupid. Yeah, Stickman 357. Baby mama culture is dead. We need to start marrying each other. That's a fact. That's a fact. But how could you get married? Okay, this is, see, the reason why I'm talking about this tonight is because you see, I'm talking about a particular type of baby mother. I'm talking about the woman who knows for a fact that she was on the side and outside of a relationship and outside of a whole family and still decides to have a man's baby. I'm going to tell you what, as being a person who was born out of wedlock with a parent who, you know, she pretty much didn't know my father had a family. But guess what? I will say this. She regretted it. She didn't like it. And I was her only child for a reason. Baby mother culture is nonsense. It's a lie. It really is. I don't know who this is, but I think this is the person. Anyhow, baby mother culture is bad. It's not something that I would uphold if I were trying to reorganize society, Black society, and Black excellence. You know, most of the Black and excellent people that I know, I'm a rare breed, but the majority of them, they come from two-parent households. They had a good family raising them. And I'm not trying to say it like that. I'm just saying that aspire for more. Like, how do you go from being a woman who came from a nice immigrant family to being now a baby's mother? Why? Because he's a celebrity. Your child's gonna feel disgraced. I don't necessarily agree with polygamy because the majority of the men who practice polygamy, they don't have enough money to do so. You actually have to have resources to be able to practice polygamy. You can't just practice it because you practice it. It's not like playing guitar. You actually have to have resources. You can't just pick it up and be like, I'm practicing polygamy. No, you actually have to have something. And you actually have to have a hell of a lot to be polygamous. I mean, when you go to Africa and you see the polygamous gentlemen, everyone is not polygamous there, guys. The only people that are polygamous are major tycoon types. Major types. So when you guys talk about, you know, yeah, when you guys talk about polygamy, yeah, exactly. It is a tool of the rich. Ultimately, think about it like this: if you have a man who is a mogul, you know, let's use the United States as an example. Let's say he's from Oregon, okay? And he's married to his wife in Oregon, and he starts his company, but now he has to travel all over the place in the States to promote this company. Well, maybe he'll be stationed somewhere else for 6 or 7 months, like Miami, and end up taking a second wife because he has enough money and resources to do that. Most families do not always, they don't always collide and collaborate. Polygamy, I think people think about, when they think about polygamy, they think about that show like Big Love, where everybody's living together and stuff. And that's not the case. Polygamy is exactly what it is. It is multiple women, multiple families. It's not a big love type of situation. I don't think everyone's always living in the same house. Most of the time, it's like in Africa, the man will have his first wife, have his first set of kids, then he'll move on to do something else. Maybe he's in a different area. He'll have his second wife. That's what I've seen. And then that both of them will have houses. Both of them will be taken care of. But if you're not in that position, I think it's silly to fantasize about. Also, women are hefty responsibilities. So it's not to say that you can just have multiple of them and think it's going to be so easy. I mean, if you're running some sort of kingdom and you have multiple women in there. I don't know who Polite is. Care who he is either. Is that weird, like that weird man? Who cares about him? Why? I don't even know what he looks like, but I know I've heard his name. Like I've heard people say Polite before, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested in silly men anymore. Men that just talk about things and don't do anything. I am a person who's a go-getter, and I like conquerors. I like kings. I like aggressive men who are trying to do things in life. Brother Polite, he sounds like he's too polite for me. He sounds like he's a person who just it seems like from what I've like I don't know who he is, don't know what he looks like, but I know I've heard his name a few times in relation to other stuff like Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed and all that kind of stuff. That blackety black stuff. And they call it blackety black stuff because it's only black stuff that pertains to Black Americans. At the end of the day, we're trying to leave America. What don't you niggas understand? We don't want to be here. You keep trying to make this place nicer, but the reality is the majority of us are just working and accumulating our chips and stacking up. With real talk, like, so what? Exactly. He's a scammer and he got rich off the Black community. All right, so then why the fuck do we care how well he did polygamy? He had resources because he robbed the fucking community to have it. And you're gonna mention this man to me? Who gives a damn about him? Loser. That man's a loser. That Monday, he's a loser. That Monday, I gotta lose. You talking about he got rich off the black community, but then he did polygamy well. He sounds like a complete con artist. He sounds like a con artist. That's what he sounds like. Yeah, yo, he sounds like a con artist, man. Seriously. It's the truth. I mean, some of these people they will give you a story and a hope and a dream, but you'll never see them do anything. When's the last time Polite's been to Africa? Or does he just waste his time all over Atlanta? It's just a crazy situation that we're in here. It's like, and for what? People have been lying to the black community so long in this country. I've always suspected it and always known it, even from when I was in high school. And even like, I think by high school I was well aware that this place was a joke. Like, we can accomplish a lot in this country because there's a good financial system still in place. But aside from that, I think that is ignorance, what you just wrote. I don't believe all black Americans are African. Some are indigenous Indians. Sure, whatever you want to say. We were all told those things. And we would like to believe those things, except I have my DNA done and I know it's not true. I sat there and saying, okay, my curly hair is because I have Indian in me and shit like that. Oh yeah, because even my hair is very soft, it's curly, and it's not really that nappy. So I always used to say that shit, but it has nothing to do with that. Turns out that my family is completely Hausa and Fulani. We don't have no Indian. First of all, what is Indian blood? Can you explain to me what that is? What's an Indian? When you talk about Indian, what are you talking about? Are you talking about mestizo, taino, cari? Like, those are the Indians. When you talk about Indians, they're Central American tribes. Mayans were not black. No, they weren't, baby. I know you want to believe that, but it's not true. They worshiped black people. They loved Africans, but they were not Africans. In Mexico, I forget the area, but there's an area dedicated to the African slaves that came there and provided extra culture to the mestizos and the Mayans and the Tainos. I know this because African studies is my second major. Also, if you ever look at, I forget the guy's first name, but Myers is his last name because he has the same last name as one of my friends. If you ever look at his ethnographic map, this traveler, this guy from German man from years ago, he has the map. As a matter of fact, let me show it to you. You don't have to prove anything to me. I just have my DNA done. I don't need proof of who I am. I know who I am. But I will show you the ethnographic map. Proof is. Now let's go ahead and share this with you so you can see. We can go ahead and share this screen again, and we can go ahead and pull this map up so you can see. No, they weren't, honey. If you want to say that, you could say that. What is your definition of black? I think in this country, people have a very weird definition of black. They believe that anybody who can tan and has a little bit of melanin in them is a black person. When I say black, I'm talking about of African genes. I'm not talking about you can tan. I know a person who is Jewish that can tan better than some of the light-skinned black people I know. So quite frankly, Mayans and Olmecs, no, they weren't black, baby. We're looking at the ethnographic map here. All right, honey? I just got to keep it real. This right here is America. Okay? That is Mexico. That is Colombia. That's Central South America. Panama, Colombia, Ecuador, Nicaragua, etc. This is South America, like Trinidad and Chile and Venezuela, etc. You got to know your geography. That says Caribbean, right? Doesn't it? I'm just saying, what does it say? It says Caribbean, right? Sweetheart, this is the ethnographic map of 18 something, I think. I forget what year it is. But if you look at it, and you look at, these are races. These are the races. I am this person. I am this person. I was brought from this place to this place. And so were you. And guess what else? The only other people that you could maybe argue is a little black would maybe be these Australian people. Because they got the most melanin next to us. But literally this map is almost, I'm Jamaican as well. And not all Jamaicans are black either. But I am a black Jamaican. My dad is Jamaican. It's from St. Anne. That means nothing still. People have to understand Jamaica is not a race. Majority of Jamaicans know say they black, and the majority of them are black. But when you see young artists like Shenseea, she's not really black to me. She's Indian and Dravidian with maybe a dark-skinned black African family member from 4 generations ago. You know what I'm saying? I have a girlfriend that I swear she is the most dirtiest Jamaican. And I swear when I met her mother, her mother's like Indian in something. And she's not really black. She's light as hell. She's lighter than Beyonce. We gotta stop giving black to everybody that we want to include in our little mixture. I know it's cool. I know we love to include people because we know we the shit. Well, if it makes you happy to say that you're indigenous to Jamaica, hold on to that. But guess what? Jamaica's in shambles. So where are you going to go to since you're indigenous Jamaican? Because all of the Jamaican, let me tell you something. All of the Jamaicans are going to Africa. There are so many Jamaicans in Africa. They're there already. They're there before us. You know why? Because they're a little bit of Jamaican dollars, which is like, I don't know what the rate is, 96 to 1 or some ridiculous rate. Last time I went, it was like 66 to 1. It's gotten so much worse. Literally, those people can take their little low currency and still apply it in places like Africa where the currency is even more distressed. So a lot of Jamaicans have beat African Americans to the punch in repatriating Africa because they know City Black from Africa. Mixed people come in different shades, but black people come in different shades too. That is true, but there are phenotypes that come with that as well. We're not going to give every light-skinned person that can tan an opportunity in Africa because it's not true. You will have to get your DNA taken if you want citizenship. That's what it comes down to. Or you could just get left here. Get left in Jamaica. You could get left in Haiti. I love all these places. Okay? One of my best friends is Haitian. Ça passe. Ma poule. But guess what? It's in shambles. Did you see what's going on in Cuba? There are people threatening to come overseas to get here. Do you understand this place is going to be overcrowded? You're going to be begging to be African. You're going to be begging to be in Africa the way this shit in America is about to go down. Do you understand? It's not like what you think. And I'm not trying to say it to be disrespectful or to hurt anyone's feelings. I know a lot of West Indian people truly believe this. I mean, I have a Trinidadian friend, and I saw her father. He's black as fuck. He's blacker than me. But all she ever does is praise her Indian side, Diwali this and this and this and that. Get the fuck out of here. She looked out of all her cousins, she looks the most like a nigga. She got the rough ass hair. All her cousins have beautiful, but I've got better hair than her. How about that? She's lighter, but I've got better hair than her. And I'll be honest with you, she hung on and clung on so tight to her little bit of Indian heritage that don't even define her. She tall like her dad. She darker than all her family. She marga like her father. She's pretty much African with a little bit of Indian, but I let her tell it she's Indian with a little bit of African, even though I've seen her father and her mother is dead. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Nobody. It's like the sad part is literally everybody that I know that's from the Caribbean, that's how they behave. Anything but black. Anything but black. You can't be a proud Jamaican and say that, because even Bob Marley knew that he was African. Marcus Garvey knew he was African. In Jamaica, our people that we look up to know they're African. So to be honest with you, that must be some new flavor. I don't know. That must be some new flavor. But the Jamaicans that I know, they know they're black and they're proud to be African. So I'm not really understanding. I don't like getting Caribbean conversations because, quite frankly, the Caribbean is just a supplantation of Africa. We pretty much brought all of our fire-ass recipes, our fire-ass foods, a lot of shit we brought to the area. A lot of the food you're eating is not indigenous. Who cares if he was mixed race? He didn't acknowledge being mixed race. He was an African man. If you're not proud to be black, just say that, boy. Just say that, boy. If you're not proud to be black, just say that, boy. Because that's what it's starting to sound like. All this grasping on for anything that's not African. I'm so sorry. My people are not those people. These are my people. So you could understand who my people are. These are my beautiful people. Yes. These are my beautiful people. My beautiful people. My beautiful people. No, they are not Indian. No, they are not mixed with white. These are my beautiful people. These are my beautiful people. Do you understand me? Black wasn't already in the Caribbean. They lied to you. What they want is they want us to feel like we're so ingrained to this that we don't want to leave. When they got to a lot of these islands, there weren't many people there. Yes, the people there were brown, but there weren't many people. They brought us, honey, just like they brought the Jamaicans to Panama. And they really believe they're Panamanian today. They're just Africans, honey. We are African people. Get over it. Accept it. Love yourself, baby. It's sad. It's sad in this country that I literally deal with this on a daily basis. Black people who just do not want to be black. The whole planet was one continent. The whole planet that broke off was one continent. Central and South America broke off of Africa. Don't you understand? It is a disgusting thing in this country. And that's exactly what this live is about. It's exactly, why don't you go ask someone like my friend Josh, who lives on a reservation right now, whose family is actually from these areas, whose family is actually Olmec, whose family is actually mestizo. He's like mixed with like a couple different tribes. He explained this to me last year when he told me that people just want their land back. So quite frankly, what's happening is going to happen in this country. You see Cubans coming here, you see Mexicans coming here, you see these caravans of people trying to storm in their own lands. They want their shit back. And we're going to get out of their way, smart Africans. Smart Africans are going to get out of the way of these indigenous to America people so they can take their shit back. Because what I won't do is I won't fight anybody for America. That's the truth. I'm proud to be a so-called black man, but I'm not African. I'm Jamaican. Okay, whatever. I know when you get to Africa, you're gonna be saying something different. If you ever make it, you might never make it. But you can't be a proud black man and think you're not African. That makes no sense. It's not possible. But hey, if I'm gonna let you think what you want to, because who am I to tell you what you believe about yourself? Who am I to tell you that? What you believe about yourself. I'm not here to shut down what you believe about yourself. There's not enough space for all these ignorant people to come to Africa anyway. We don't want people who don't want to be African there. But ultimately, it's going to happen because when they start telling us that we have to leave this country, you going back to Jamaica where niggas is getting killed every day? Or are you still there? Can't get out yet? Which one is it? These jokes. Why don't you Google Black Mayans and see if you can find your family? You need to do your DNA. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you the link to the people that do the good DNA. Because you need this link. You need to go learn about yourself and go get one of the kits and get your DNA done and figure out who you are. That's all I could say. I think that in 2021, we don't have to continue to keep guessing about who we are. I think it's so sad in this country. It seems like Black people would much rather be uncertain of who they are so that they could pretend they're somebody else than actually find out exactly who the hell they are. Right? Like figure out exactly. And you know what? I just got my hair done in one of these beautiful hairstyles very recently, but you can't tell me that's not me. You can't tell me that's not me. Now, they didn't do that. That is me. They didn't do that, honey. They didn't do any kind of, what are you talking about? What DNA tests are we talking about? African Ancestry never tested any two twins that didn't come up with different results. What? African Ancestry? Are you talking about the bullshit Ancestry shit that's based out of California? What's the other one? That big one that with the green letters? You're talking about them? No, I'm talking about African Ancestry run by Miss Gina Page, an African woman who is repatriating in Africa, someone who understands the DNA process. I've spoken to her myself. She explained to me exactly how this test works. This test has this African Ancestry test is the best one because it has the most African genomes and the biggest African gene pool from actual Africans and from actual Black people. And as we continue to utilize the service, it just grows and grows and grows because the more data we put into it, the more references there are. That's a lie. Most Africans don't even like Jamaicans. When you go to Africa, all you hear is West Indian music. What? Are you crazy? They love Jamaicans. As a matter of fact, I would tell you, if you're a Black American person with Caribbean ancestry, when you go to Africa, you tote your Caribbean ancestry. You tote your Jamaican, you tote your Trinidad. I don't know about Trinidad. You tote your Jamaican, you tote your Haitian when you get to Africa because they respect those. When you get to Africa, you say Trinidad, they don't know what you're talking about. They don't. But if you say Jamaica and you say certain countries like Haiti, Jamaica, the big one, you know, the reality is they do love us, actually. I got the carpet rolled out for me. They love Yardis. So that's not true. That's a bold-faced lie, baby. What do you mean? One of the most important artists of today has so much Jamaican influence in his music, and he says it all the time that he grew up listening to reggae. And every single African I hung out with when I was in Sierra Leone, they knew some of the songs more than I did. I hadn't heard them in years. They knew the lyrics T for T because they've been listening to that shit every fucking week for the past 20 years because that's the kind of stuff they like. They love our culture, so that's not true what you just said. And yes, that is me. That looks damn sure like me. Yeah, I don't have facial markings, but at the end of the day, we have the same nose, we have the same eyes, we have the same ears. Oh, I guess you want to see, you know what I think you actually, what you want to do is you want to see that nice picture that I had. And I'll show you exactly how it came out because sweetheart, rap music is not the same as, don't disrespect reggae. Rap music is not the same as reggae and dancehall. Rap music is cool, but it's not reggae and dancehall. Baby. You gotta, like, for real, babes. For real. For real. Now, let's get back to this Wodabi. Since you told me, oh no. You told me it didn't look like me, so I wanted to know if it didn't look like me, then how does it not look like this? That don't look like me? Jamaica's wonderful and the culture is great and no one's trying to throw it away. But the reality is I wasn't even supposed to be in Jamaica. Don't you understand? We are African, baby. The most influential Jamaicans knew that. Who are you? You sound lost. I pray for you and I really hope that you understand your blackness and that it's actually something to be proud of. And if you tell me it doesn't look like me, I mean, that looks just like me. That's me. That's actually me. I got my hair done 3 weeks ago. That is literally me. And that is literally a Wadabi woman. And we look exactly the same. Exactly the same. I can say that because I'm humble enough to say that. And she's beautiful. But we look exactly the same profile and everything. Those are my genes. Those are my people. And we are African. Stop trying to be something that you're not and stop trying to hold on to something because it's the only thing you know. Learn about yourself and learn about yourself. It's okay to be wrong. For a long time, we all thought a lot of different things about our DNA until we figured out who we were. Caribbean is paradise, but if you've not been to Africa, you've not really seen where the world comes from. And Africa's got nicer beaches in the Caribbean. I'm not gonna lie. I was just in Sierra Leone. The whole shit is one big Ochi. The whole shit is one big Ochi, one big Negril. The Caribbean is a small microcosm of what we pretty much created Africa in the Caribbean. They brought us there because it was a very similar climate and they knew we could work. And we brought the same foods there that we had in Africa. And I'm not here to educate you. What you need to do is take it upon yourself to be educated. But like I was saying, let me get back to what I was saying because that's clearly me and that's clearly a Wadabi woman and we look like twins right here. So if African is not what I am, I don't know. I guess I'll have to go back to Miss Gina Page and see if they were wrong. I was out in Africa and I asked people what my tribe was before I even got my results, and everyone told me that I was Fulani. Like they knew it. And for you to be a Caribbean person, and if you know anything about music and you love a woman like Allison Hines and you love that song, then you know that we're African. Because when I when I got my DNA and I saw pictures of different women, and what I realized was that like, Paloma ding ding ding, namya lavade, boko ejana, papasi ejana, nagu ejana. You understand? Mama, yeah, yeah. You think that's Indian, baby? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Bad black man. Pow, 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 as they say. I want some of y'all to just stop it already. Stop it. Stop grasping onto shit that doesn't belong to you. Stop grasping onto genes that don't empower you. You get your blackness from Africa. You get your power, your strength from Africa. If you don't want to acknowledge that, then be lost here. Don't you understand that the people that don't know where they're from are lost here in America? They don't have resources. They don't have anything. They don't know who they are. There's a reason why the Africans that come from Africa do so well. There's a reason why the Caribbean people do so well, because they come here, they know who they are. And guess what? It's all rooted in being African and excellent. That's not Indian shit. Oh my God. Feathers and stuff is not Indian. The only thing Indian, first of all, if you're talking about Native American, that's not even a real Indian. But feathers and stuff, that's not Indian stuff. That literally comes from us. The only thing Indian, I would say, would be like the mud, the paint, the powder. That's the most, that looks the most like what they have, that thing called holy. But the majority of our feathers and a lot of our music, it's African music. God, clad. Silly Caribbean people. Let me just say this. I know what. Oh God. This man, I know history well, so I don't have to Google Jamaica coat of arms. Yes, I don't have to do that. I'm telling you what it is. You want to believe something else about yourself because you're afraid to be Black, and that's a real disgrace. You see what I'm saying, guys? This is exactly why, and I'm not even going to continue to waste time. This is a nice gentleman, but I'm going to let him have his way because he won't be happy until he knows that he's not as Black as me. He won't be happy until he realizes that he's not as Black as us. All he wants is to know that, like, okay, we're African, that's the blackest of the Black. No, he's Caribbean, there were Black people there, but we're not as Black as you guys, though. Oh my God, you're African. That's really sad, it's really shameless, and it's the reason why I'm leaving this country. Because, quite frankly, I don't even want to be around people that think like that. That think that their Blackness is attributed to some culture that was just erected a couple hundred years ago. It's disgraceful. It's the reason why, it's the same, it literally is the reason why we have baby mother culture. Because men that are African living in this here America, they're afraid to be African. So what they do is they inseminate anything that's walking, including women of no color, including Dravidians, including quadroons and octoroons. And then they want to tell you that those people are Black and resell it to you, but you could never resell that to me. I am from. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's really a sad thing in America. Everyone's genes are convoluted here, and they keep trying to muddy us up. They keep trying to muddy us up. They keep trying to muddy up our race. And I think it's disgraceful that we continue to take part in it, when all we have to do is go to some Black people who are trusted in PhDs and doctors and scholars. I mean, you'll talk about an ancestry test that's made by some white people that they don't know shit about shit, but you won't go and deal with the scientists that pretty much know what they're doing when it comes to African genes. It's because you're afraid. You're afraid to be African. If you're not afraid to be African, go get that test and then tell me how much Indian you got in you. I'm afraid, and that's okay. Hey, let me give you a little bit of history as well. Indians, they share a lot of DNA with us, like Indians from Asia. They share a lot of DNA with us. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. The man just, and it's crazy because people will hang on to things that are not them, also that they can be a part of something that's failing. It's wonderful being Caribbean, but it's also nice to know that I'm African, because that is the highest of the high. That means I came first. See, what you don't understand is that it gives me great pride to know that my lineage is from centuries back in the ancient Mali Empire. It gives me great pride to know that. It gives me great pride to know that I don't have to look to Harry Belafonte as an icon. It gives me great pride to know that Marcus Garvey was right, that we are African. that gives me great traction. So it is what it is. I mean, let people who want to be confused in this country continue to live here and continue to give it all of their energy. It is what it is. Doesn't mean much to me. Peace.